रामानुजदयापात्रं ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणं श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यं वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकं लक्ष्मीनाथसमारम्भां नाथयामुनमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां यो नित्यमच्युतपदाम्बुजयुग्मरुक्मव्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये माता पिता युवतयस्तनया विभूतिः सर्वं यदेव नियमेन मदन्वयानाम् आद्यस्य नः कुलपतेर्वकुलाभिरामं श्रीमत्तदङ्घ्रियुगलं प्रणमामि मूर्धना भूतं सरश्च महदाह्वयभट्टनाथ श्रीभक्तिसार कुलशेखर योगिवाहान् भक्ताङ्घ्रिरेणुपरकाल यतीन्द्रमिश्रान् श्रीमत्पराङ्कुशमुनिं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम्। नमः सदसे नमः सभायै। With the abundant blessings of Paramatma Shriyapati, with yet again the beautiful premises of RV College, with yet again the coming together of three very charitable, renowned entities, Adhyatma Vikasa Vedike, Aradhana Talks, and the Lions Club of Bangalore West. All of them have come together with a very, very generous dharmic set of sponsors amidst such a beautiful gathering of astikas who I'm sure know that all of you have been photographed for your attendance for 3 more days, which is tomorrow, the Sunday, and subsequently the following weekend of Saturday and Sunday. The very same premises, the timings don't change. The topic which has been ordained for me to be delineating is the 64 arts in Sanatana Dharma or Hinduism. As always, I have to keep repeating Sanatana Dharma, also known as Hinduism, until it reaches the pair of ears at Gopalapuram. So, I hope some noble soul from this very gathering who may resort to whistling or not, will take it to those ears. That said, in Sanatana Dharma, in Hinduism, in the very kshetra of Bangalore, which is a Rajadhani of Karnataka, very many times, multiple times in English and a couple of times in Tamil, I've spoken on a variety of topics. It could range from the Ramayana to the Mahabharata to the Bhagavata to the Vishnu Purana or the lives of great bhaktas. We have taken up to explaining Vishnu Sahasranama as well in multiple lectures here and at MLR Convention Center. So this has been my research laboratory, South Bangalore. So this year, I thought might as well come up with a topic which we have heard many times, but not got into the details of the topic, which is the 64 arts, Chatushashti Kala. What are those 64 arts? We have heard them in different bits and pieces. What are they? If you go ask Google, it will give you one set, but it will give you multiple versions. So it was a task that I took it upon myself so that I presented for the first time to the very rich, elite, intellectual audience of South Bangalore. You're all the people with whom I'm going to try this research work on. So the research will reach its fructification only when you attend 4 days. I know I'm competing with the mega stars of IPL. Still process it. You can still watch your mobile phone and check on the score and listen to the lecture as well. I don't mind as long as you keep it in the mute mode. Don't take me seriously. So, 4 first places that we are going to first understand where we find large mentions of 64 kalas. We have to go back to the times of Krishna. Krishna was born in Mathura, then shifted for safety purposes across the waters of Yamuna. So nobody blocked passage of people or ships in the waters in those days. So from Mathura, he was moved for safety to Gokula, and then shifted between two other places called Vrindavana and Govardhana. So from point A to point B, he went. And till he was scheduled there, in the tenure of his staying in Gokulam, Vrindavanam, and Govardhana, one thing that he was very sure of was he didn't have to study. He never went to a school. So I'm sure children who are listening to this should not aspire to go to Vrindavana because they have schools now. So when Krishna studied, there were no schools. So it was only while he was around 10 years of age, when Akrura came, that he realized in that avatara, he is Sarvatma, he is Antaratma, Sarvajna, that is a different thing. In that avatara, he realized that he was no more N Krishna, he was supposed to be V Krishna. Because his father was not Nandagopa, it was Vasudeva. So he shifted base, he fought with his maternal uncle who was extremely cruel, killed him, then went into the jail premises to release his father and mother, Vasudeva and Devaki, after so many years of their incarceration in the jail. Being a true Indian mother, Indian mom, she is a helicopter mom. So she asked, "My dear son, I'm not even getting outside the jail premises. Tell me, where did you study?" So the boy said, "I've never known what is education. I've never seen how a school looks like." So she said, "I am not leaving this jail 301 until my husband finds a good school for my son." So Vasudeva, 5G, 6G, whatever worked, he was able to Google and find out that there was only one school that said no documents required. Everybody else said you'll have to finish your SIR. So when no documents were required, that was the only school of a Maharishi called Sandipani. The Sandipani Maharishi lived in a kshetram called Avantika, which is today called Ujjaini. This is a temple town very close to a metro of Madhya Pradesh called Indore. Very close to Indore is Ujjain, which was called Avantika, where there was an ashrama of a Maharishi called Sandipani. So they said, "We don't require your TC, conduct certificate, nothing." Because who would give a conduct certificate for Krishna? All he had was he stole butter, he broke the spot, he went, all this. So conduct certificate, TC was not required. So go there. So Krishna and Balarama were put into Sandipani's ashramam. This is the first example. The shloka goes like this. Atho gurukulevasam ichanta upajagmatuhu kashyam Sandipanim nama Hyavanti Puravasinam. This person belonged to Kashi. See, Sandipani was a resident of Kashi. But because for employment opportunities, he is shifted from Kashi, Varanasi Kshetram in Uttara Pradesh to Madhya Pradesh, Avantika Kshetram. He established an ashramam there, was running a good ashrama. Krishna and Balarama went there. Yathopasadya taudantau Gurau vrittim aninditam grahayanta vupetausma bhaktya devamiva dritau. Both these sishyas, extremely self-controlled sishyas, very well behaved. Sandipani said, "I've heard different things about you, Krishna. Are you the same Krishna? You're behaving so well." Tayor dvijavarastushtaha shuddha bhavanuvrittibihi provacha vedan akhilan Sangopanishado Guruhu. See, he joined the Patashala while he was 10 years of age. So he has roughly missed 5 years of formal education. Maybe he has to pick up. Let's see how he picks up. Sarahasyam Dhanur Vedam. He learnt the rahasyas of the Shastras along with the Shastra Vidya, Dhanur Vedam, which is archery. Dharmanyaya patham stata तथा च अन्वीक्षिकीं विद्यां राजनीतिं च षड्विधां. He learnt even the art of an aristocratic administration needed for a kshatriya. Now comes the main shloka. Sarvam naravara sreshtau. Both these men extremely self-controlled, very knowledgeable. Sarva vidya pravartakau, who knew all branches of knowledge. Sakrin nigadamatrena. Now, look at the word. You know what Shuka tells in Bhagavatam? It was a revision for them, it seems. They did not learn anything new. How do you know that, sir? Next line. Sakran nigadamatrena tau. Dvivachanam, both of them. Sanjagrihatur nripa. Now, what did they learn? How many days did they learn? Crash course, right? Vacation. Parents are hunting. Who will take my child away? I can't take that child. Some people are ready to pay more fees to keep that child at school. He says, Ahoratraischa tushashtya, days and nights. How many days? How many nights? Because even in the nights they were learning. Ahoratraischa tushashtya, 64 days. Equivalently 64 nights. Where did the 64 come from? Tavati Sanyatau Kalaha. 64 arts are there in Sanatana Dharma. Krishna and Balarama revisited and revised those already learnt 64 arts in 64 days and nights. Guru Dakshinaya Chandaya Masatur Nripa. So, in Srimad Bhagavatam, Dashamaskandam, the first reference comes to 64 arts. What are they? Shuka doesn't mention. Now, what I had to do? I had to read 14 books to understand this. I will just quote what those 14 books are. Sridhara Swami's Bhavartha Deepika, Vamshidhara's Bhavartha Deepika Prakashika, Jiva Goswami's Vaishnava Toshini, Sanatana Goswami's Brihad Vaishnava Toshini, Veeraraghavacharya's Bhagavata Chandra Chandrika, Vijayadhvaja Tirtha's Pada Ratnavali, Vishwanatha Chakravarti's Sarartha Darshini, Sudarshana Suri's Shuka Pakshiyam, Shukadeva's Siddhanta Pradipaha, Satyadharma's Bhagavata Tippani, Vallabhacharya's Subodhini, Gopalananda Muni's Nigudartha Prakashika, Bhagavat Prasadacharya's Bhaktamanoranjani, Harisuri Sri Bhakti Rasayanam. These 14 texts clearly mention what those 64 arts are. First reference. Second, for those of the Astikas here or who are Devi Upasakas, in Brahmanda Purana comes the Sahasranamam called Lalita Sahasranamam. You have a Dhyana Shloka. Sindhura Runa Vigraham Trinayanam Manikamauli Spurattara Nayaka Shekharam Smitamukhim Apina Vakshoruham Panibhyam Manipurna Ratna Chashakam Raktotpalam Bhibratim Saumyam Ratnaghatastarakta Charanam Dhyayet Paramambikam. It goes on and the Sahasranamam begins. There. Mahayaga Kramaradhya Mahabhairava Pujita Maheshwara Mahakalpa Mahatandava Sakshini Mahakamesha Mahishi Mahatripura Sundari Chatushashti Upacharadhya Chatushashti Kalamai. She is the personification of 64 arts. So for Shaktas, there is a reference to Devi. Second. Third, you might have heard of the great Acharya in the Tamil tradition called Kamban, who gave us the Tamil Ramayanam. He propitiated a Devi called Saraswati and celebrates her. How does he say? ஆயக்கலைகள் 64 நேயமுடன் உணர்விக்கும் என்னம்மை தூய உருப்பிளங்கு போல்வாள் என் உள்ளத்தின் உள்ளே இருப்பள் இங்கு வாராதிடர் படிக நிறமும் பவளச் செவ்வாயும் கடிக்கமள் பூந்தாமரை பொற்கையும் துடியிடையும் மல்லும் பகலும் அனவரதமும் துதித்தால் கல்லும் சொல்லாதோ கவி. He says, ஆயக்கலைகள் 64. There are 64 arts. Sir, Sanskritam reference okay, sir. Yake Tamil reference kodtira? Because there are a couple of people in Tamil Nadu who will keep telling we are different, we are not Hindus. So, Kamban has spoken in his Tamil Ramayanam about 64 Kalegal. So, Bhagavatam, Krishna's reference to 64 arts. Brahmanda Puranam, Lalita Sahasranamam's reference to 64 arts. Third, Tamil reference to Kambaramayana to 64 arts. Fourth, this is a very different thing. Now, these three people say, learn the 64 arts. Tyagaraja has a different take. He says, what is the use of learning 64 arts? Correct. If I say cooking is an art, Shanti Sagar is just outside. Why should I learn cooking? Correct. Singing, there are already great Kalanidhis who are singing. Why should I sing? Sir? Dance, there is Padma Paduka, Padma Subramaniam. She will dance, we will watch. So, what is the use of learning 64 arts, sir? Does Tyagaraja say this? No, he says it in a different way. Learn the 64 arts, know of them, learn, but do not be assured by learning them your vidhi will change. That is Tyagaraja's take. What does he say in Telugu Bhasha? Kalala nerchina munu jesinadi gakavemi aravai nalugu kalala nerchina aravai nalugu kalala అంటే 64 arts. అరవై నాలుగు కళల నేర్చిన మును చేసినది. Even after learning 64 arts, మును చేసినది, your purva janma papa will follow you. There he says, కలిమి లేములకు, కలిమి అంటే ప్రాస్పెరిటీ, లేములకు దారిద్రం, both prosperity and poverty. కలిమి లేములకు కారణంబు నీవే, హే రామ, you are the cause. కరుణ జూడవే కడుపు కోరకే, thus I am seeking your mercy. So he gives two examples. After learning 64 arts, will vidhi still act on you? Yes. Two examples he gives. కోరి నోవుల కొండ దీసి సింగరి ముని కూర్మి భూజించిన. So he gives an example of a muni. I don't know the exact story, but Tyagaraja says there was one rishi called Singari Muni. Have you heard of him in JP Nagar? His name is Singari Muni. Even I tried searching the Puranas. Maybe Tyagaraja had that manuscript. Somebody took that away to Netherlands Museum. I don't know. Modi ji, next time he has to get that. కోరి నోవుల కొండ, కొండ అంటే hill. నోవుల కొండ is sesame seeds hill. So there was a rishi. In his life, he liked sesame balls. Have you tasted sesame balls? Yellu rundai. It is very tasty. So he wanted that. He didn't get it in more whatever markets he didn't get. So he prayed to Bhagavan. Bhagavan said, I will give you sesame seeds. So it appeared like a huge hill, not 100 grams or 200 grams. One full hill of sesame seeds appeared in front of him. Bhagavan said, whatever you ask, I'll give you as a hill. But by then, he got his allergy test done. What was the allergy to? He was allergic to sesame seeds. Kori, he asked, Novula konda tisi singari muni kurmi bhujinchena. But he couldn't eat. He asked for it, he couldn't eat. Vairi tammudu, Vairi ante Ramuki, the enemy for Rama, Ravana. Tammudu, his younger brother Vibhishana, when he came for Rama's Pattabhisheka, he said, give me Ranganatha. You remember last year, June? I gave you Ramayana secrets. On day 2, I told you the same place. Then we went to the next. You don't remember? Now, Vibhishana went all the way to Ayodhya and asked for Rama. Asked Rama for Ranganatha. He wanted to take that Ranganatha to Colombo or Nuvarailia. But in his vidhi, it was written that Ranganatha will not cross Kaveri or Tiruchirappalli. So Bhagavan stayed there. Despite Vibhishana being a repository of the 64 arts, in his vidhi it was written that Ranganatha will not come to Lanka. Vairitammudu సారమైన రంగుని ఇల్లు జేచిన. Similarly is this Tyagaraja Rama. I too want to master the 64 arts, but I know despite me learning the 64 arts, nothing will go beyond Vidhi. So it is only you who can change my Vidhi. Sarasa Tyagaraja Vinuta Brovave Kallala Nechina. So four references. Krishna's reference to Bhagavatam, Devi's reference to Lalita Sahasranamam, Saraswati's reference to Kamban's Tamil song, and Tyagaraja's reference says there are 64 arts. This is the basis now.
పరమ భాగవత మౌని వరస శివిభాకర సనక సనందన దీశ సురకిం పురుష కనక కశిపు సుత నారద తుంబురు పవన సూను బాలచంద్రధర శుక సరోజ భవ భూసురవరులు పరమ పావనులు ఘనులు శాశ్వతులు కమల భవ సుఖము సదానుభవులుగా ఎందరో మహానుభావులు. As I'm speaking these divine lines of Sri Tyagaraja Swami, I've received the very divine Onavil of Thiruvananthapuram. This is going to be a grand, a mega Natya production titled Endaro Mahanubhavalu, a festoon of the devout. We have chosen the inspiring events from the lives of 14 Acharyas, Mahans, who have trod Bharata Bhumi. ದೊಡ್ಡಾಚಾರ್ಯ, ಆದಿಶಂಕರಾಚಾರ್ಯ, ವೇದಾಂತ ದೇಶಿಕ, ಮುತ್ತುಸ್ವಾಮಿ ದೀಕ್ಷಿತ, ಪೋತನ, ಜಯದೇವ, ಆಂಡಾಳ್, ಮೀರಾಬಾಯಿ, ಕಂಬನ್, ತಿರುಮಳಿಸೈ ಪಿರಾನ್, ಭದ್ರಾಚಲ ರಾಮದಾಸು, ಗೋಸ್ವಾಮಿ, ತುಳಸಿದಾಸ, ಪುರಂದರದಾಸ and Tukaram. We have strung it together into a beautiful dance production that is primarily Bharatanatyam based with movements of Odissi, Ghumar and Mohiniyattam, which is going to be multilingual as well with lines chosen from Sanskritam, Marathi, Braj Bhasha, Rajasthani, Telugu, Kannada, Tamil, so many languages put together. I've had the opportunity to work with dancers, Natya gurus of great repertoire in the last 15 years. This is an opportunity for me to have curated the production, to have done the storyboard and narrate the production in English. The choreography is by the very famous revered Kalaimamani Srimati Anita Guha. The music is by the great grandson of Subramanya Bharati, a Sangeet Natak Academy awardee, Dr. Rajkumar Bharati, and the soundscape design is by Sri Sai Shravanam, one of the contributing engineers to the award-winning Life of Pi movie. We have all come together to present this grand production Endaro Mahanubhavalu in your city. On the 26th and on the 27th of September at the Prestige Center of Performing Arts in Bengaluru, we are presenting this production. On the 3rd and the 4th of October, we are doing it at the Naradagana Sabha in Chennai. On the 1st of November, we are doing it at the Fine Arts Society Chembur in Mumbai. And on the 29th of November at Kamani Auditorium in Delhi. Tickets are flying off the shelves. Please be present, buy your tickets and be with your family to watch this, I would say, once in a lifetime event. We are extremely thankful to the title sponsor, to the event sponsor, to the associate sponsors, and to those hands who have supported us. To the all of you, thank you. To the all of you, Vandanamulu, please be present. Namaskar.
What are those 64 arts? This is where introduction over. My introduction itself will be for 25 minutes. Now, we are going to get into the arts. Each of the arts in a limited time I have to speak. See, for now you can calculate. Even if you do a moderate division, 64 by 4 will give you 16. Now 16 arts I have to cover in a day. Given my style of speaking, irrelevant and relevant things, I won't be able to cover 16 today. But let me see. I have to cover in the 4 days, I have to finish. Like a school teacher, I will borrow some extra hours and finish. Now, the first set of arts is going to be intellectual arts. I told you, the audience of South Bangalore are in that standard. So I know if Vyasa and Valmiki have doubts, they will come to you. Now we are going to go to the first art. Beautiful art. I am in love with that art. It is called Kavyam. So I will tell you what the commentary to Bhagavatam tells about Kavyam. Vakyam rasatmakam kavyam doshastasyapakarshakaha utkarsha hetavaha prokta gunalankara ritayaha. It says, It says kavyam is poetry, as simple as poetry. Now, kavyam could vary. It could be poetry, even drama comes under poetry. Remember this in Sanskritam. Drama isn't separate. Natakam isn't separate. Kavyeshu natakam ramyam. Tasya ramya shakuntala is the vachanam. Of kavyam, natakam is the best. And of natakam, shakuntalam is the best. Kavyeshu natakam ramyam. Tasya ramya shakuntala. I cannot escape gloating because I have to begin with shakuntalam. I am there. That said, in this kavyam, see, poetry, first of all, before composing poems, we should first develop the art of appreciating poems. That itself, some will not have ಯಾಕ್ ಸರ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಬರೀ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ then you will not understand poetry. Poetry is about exaggeration. It is about that emotion, right? Now, I will give you one instance of how kavyam works. This is a very famous painting of Prince Ravi Verma. Where did he catch this from? He has read Shakuntalam. 2000, roughly 1800 to 2000 years back. 800 years before the Oxford and Cambridge were even built. 2000 years back, Kalidasa gives one beautiful work called Abhignana Shakuntalam. Of course, we are very proud that one of the greatest actors of this state was a protagonist as Kalidasa in a movie that was celebrated that point. That is, we had such great actors. Now, that said, what is the scene? You have to imagine how Kalidasa imagines the scene. See, what story has been mentioned by Kalidasa in Shakuntalam is not the original way it happened. In the Mahabharata Adi Parva, there is a story of Dushyanta meeting Shakuntala, them getting married, them having a son called Bharata who's Sarvadamana. The story is the same. But look at this beautiful thing there. You have to pay a lot of attention. In the Mahabharata, the storyline is they fall in love. He comes back to his kingdom. She is in the forest with the Maharishi. She is eventually pregnant. She delivers a son. The son grows to about 4 to 5 years. Then the Rishi gets an ethereal voice that she has to go to her husband. He brings his daughter and grandson and takes them to Dushyanta Sabhamantapam. Dushyanta says, I don't remember having met this girl. This is Mahabharatam. Then there is a Ashariri Vakyam. Raja, if you don't take, something will happen. Then he says, okay, Shakuntala, how? Simple. Mahabharata storyline is so simple. That's all. This is done. Vyasa has told you what has happened. Now, Kalidasa picks this portion as the subject of his magnum opus, Nataka. He develops this where Dushyanta comes one day on hunting. He's about to shoot the deer runs away. Then one Rishi stops him. Then he says that this is Kanva Maharishi's ashramam. His daughter called Shakuntala is growing. The moment he hears Shakuntala, he falls in love. All butterflies start flying. Lavender smell. Then he goes behind. Then he falls in love. Then they show that entire scene. And all this comes there. This is Kalidasa's poetic imagination. Then he also imagines that the king has given a ring. This is not there in the Mahabharata. Then that ring, that Shakuntala keeps looking at that ring. Durvasa, our hero, comes there. He gives one sharpam. I have come, your guest has come, you're not replying to me, Shakuntala. That means you're lost in the thoughts of some man. That man must be remembering you. So I curse that the man whom you are thinking of now, he will forget you. What a complicated curse. She could have forgotten, right? He says that man will forget you. Because why? Mahabharata says that Dushyanta had forgotten. Kalidasa has to retain that storyline. Now this ring has come. What will Kalidasa do? When she does Argyam, that ring goes into a fish. So when she goes to the king asks, show me an abhignanam, an insignia. She shows finger is there, ring is not there. She doesn't know where she has left that ring. King doesn't remember her. She doesn't remember where she has left the ring. Now that ring has gone into a fish. That fish has been taken by the fisherman. The fisherman takes it to his royal kitchen. He has to serve it to the king. When he cuts it open, he sees the king's ring. Then that ring is given to the king. The king remembers. By then Shakuntala has left. Able to understand the storyline? This is Kalidasa. What an imaginary great poet he was. That is it. Now he says, this is the scene. I've given you one. Sir, if you go at this speed, will you complete how many arts you're planning? Let's see. Let us go back to Kalidasa Shakuntala. Shakuntala has seen Dushyanta. head over heels, Keshadi Padam, she falls in love with him. He has got that biceps, that whey protein, all that he has got. He looks very handsome. She falls in love with him. She wants to look again at him. But in most of the kavyas, the women were shown with lot of shyness. So she has to feel that shyness, that coyness, right? She cannot say, hello, hi, too handsome, charming. Huh? She cannot say this. What will she do? So she was walking with two of her friends. Kalidasa has created two friends. Now look at the friend's name. That is Kalidasa. One never knew what jealousy was. Her name was Anasuya. The other one was always soft and well spoken. Priyam Vada. So Priyam Vada and Anasuya walk along with Shakuntala. Now Shakuntala has to see Dushyanta. What will she do? She says, the two girls, kya hua? See, look at my foot. They see tender foot, as soft as a lotus, has been struck by a thorn. So these two girls, oh, Kanva Maharishi will scold us. Then he will say, go put tetanus. So wait, we will go down, and both of them bent. So she held one person's shoulder, bent her leg. The other girl was taking it away. So the other girl whom Shakuntala was holding on to had her focus straight. The other one is taking it. In that gap of 4 to 5 seconds, she looked at Dushyanta, it seems. Now, she should also, incidentally, there was a thorn, but she has to delay the process. What did she do? She also acted as if her upper garment was stuck to a tree. So it was not stuck. Now the girls, oh, what a pity. One thorn is pricking her, the other one is being held. So she's trying to gain time to look at Dushyanta. This has been immortalized in this painting. Now look at Kalidasa's Pankti. Dharbankureణ charanah kshata ityakande tanvi sthita kadichideva padani gatva आसीद् विवृत्तवदना च विमोचयन्ती शाखा सुवल्कलमसक्तमपि द्रुमाणाम्. He just, see, it is so tough to conform to the rules of Sanskritam poetry and get the same emotion. Kannum kannum Nokia, Nikolai Kalumafia, Capuchina Coffea, Sophia. See, whichever language dictionary you put, you will never be able to explain these lines because they mean nothing. They have put 4 words together. Sonia, Coffea, Mofia, put 2 words. This is poetry. Look at Kalidasa. See, generally we have to keep progressing. Our poetry has been on the down ladder, descent. Now, I'm just explaining the scene. See, Kavyam alone, I will take more time because I love Kavyam. So we have no choice. Now, this is one scene. Now, Shakuntala keeps thinking about Dushyanta. What should she do? She should message, sir. Where is message? She has to write. So Priyambada, her friend, says, Etasmin shuka udara sukumare nalini patre nakhair nikshipta varnam kuru. Look at the line. Will friends speak like this? That is another question. You know what this Priyambada says? Oh, my dear friend, here is the lotus leaf that I've brought for you so that you can put all your feelings to it. And the leaf is as soft and delicate as the skin of the parrot in its abdominal region. Will you talk to your friend like this? I'm giving one leaf. It is Shuka Udara Sukumare, that abdominal regions, Nalini Patre. So Kalidasa does not leave even a single place to give a simile, Upama. Even that leaf she gives when the teacher distributes paper. My dear children, today I'll be distributing question papers that are as soft as the feathers. Nobody does that, right? This friend says, Shuka udara sukumore nalini patre nakhair nikshipta varnam kuru. You have long nails, make carvings and give a new color to that writing. So what do we know from that? Britishers did not teach how to write. We knew how to write. Correct? That is one. Now Shakuntala says, Hala, my dear friend, Shrunuta idanim sangatartham naveti. Now I've written something. Listen. What does she say? This is where Kavyam comes. See, generally, how do you say, I miss? Suppose you're going very far. Mom, I miss ya. I too miss. That's all. Message over. Now look at what Kalidasa says. Shakuntala is missing Dushyanta. She has seen him only for few minutes. Now she's writing a poem itself. Tavana jane hridayam. Who is that Tava? She's thinking of Dushyanta. Oh Dushyanta, you cannot understand my heart. Tavana jane hridayam. Mama punaha kamo divapi ratravapi. I'm neither able to sleep nor during the day nor night. Day, you have to listen to lectures. Night, you have to take some payasam or something. She said, Kamo divapi ratravapi. Kama, Kandarpa, Mara, Cupid is troubling me. Nirgrina tapati baliyastvadiya vrittamanorathayaha angani. He has made me so weak. I've lost a lot of my muscle mass. Nirgrina tapati baliyastvadiya vrittamanorathaya angani. He has made me very weak. If you take, I've got fever. This is what she says. She doesn't know that Dushyanta is standing behind the rock and listening to her lament. Now he comes. You have to think of N.T. Ramarao's movie. Tapati Tanugatri. He comes singing. Imagine, he has to sing and come. Tapati. Will he sing so long? No, I'll finish fast. Tapati Tanugatri Madanaha Tvam Anishammam Punar Dahyateva. Glapayati yatha shashankam na tatha hi kumudvati divasaha. This is his reply. Kya hua sir, abhi bataiye na. What did she say? This Kandarpa, like the sun, is burning me. So I am there, but just getting burnt. So she says, I'm lost in your thoughts. I'm in love with you. Kandarpa, Cupid is burning me. Now Dushyanta has to go one step bigger, greater. He says, see, there is the sun. What happened during the previous night when moon was shining in the sky? Kumuda, which is the bird, was in full bloom looking at the moon. The moment the sun came, Kumuda closed itself and its petals started withering. It didn't end there. Even the moon disappeared. So two things, remember this. Moon is now Dushyanta, it seems. You have to understand Kavyam. Moon is now Dushyanta. Kumuda is Shakuntala. When the sun came, Kumuda did not disappear, whereas the moon disappeared, which means you are suffering only through body pain. I have in fact lost myself. I have completely disappeared. So your fever is greater than my fever is greater than yours. So this is the verse of Kalidasa through Dushyanta's reply to Shakuntala. This in the 1970s was inscribed in a stamp. That verse that you see. Okay, so this was Kalidasa. Now, Kalidasange hengsar ishtalla jnana bantu kavyadalli. I am going to go to Valmiki. Now, Valmiki says, Hanuman enters Lanka. First Sarga in Sundarakanda is full about Hanuman's journey in the waters and entering Lanka. Third, fourth, fifth, it will be fully about the moon. In one shloka, he says, Hamso yata rajata panjarasthaha, Simho yata mandara kandarasthaha, Viro yata garvita kunjarasthaha, Chandro bibabhraja tathambarasthaha. He gives three examples for the moon. Hamso yata rajata panjarastaha. Imagine there is a cage of beautiful silver. Within that is a beautiful Hamsa bird. So, moon is caught in a cage. How will moon get caught in its cage? He says the rays of the moon are like the cage and moon is caught inside that cage. One. Simho yata mandara kandarastaha. Like an elephant whose valor is not displayed to the public because it is inside the cave of a mountain. Viro yatha garvita kunjarastaha. Like the young man who takes his Harley Davidson in the middle of the night at 12 o'clock, he goes, right? Likewise, a great warrior sits on an elephant. What is this, sir? What example? Very important information, Valmiki says. Next shloka says that Sthita kakudmaniva tikshna shringaha. Hanuman says, see, Sundarakandam we read every day. Sir, dinalu Sundarakanda otini. We don't have that research mentality. We'll just keep on. Today, 10 sargas are over. Tick mark. But see what Hanuman says. Sthita kakudmaniva tikshna shringaha. He looks at the moon. Kakudmaniva tikshna shringaha. Like a bull with a hump. Hump is called Kaku. That is why the king who stood on Kaku was called Kakutstha. Since Rama came in the lineage of Kakutstha, he was called Kakutstha. Kakutstha. Kaku means hump. So a bull has a hump and the bull has two horns. Hanuman says, when I look at the moon, it appears like the two horns of a bull with a hump. First example, Mahachala Shweta Ivocha Shringaha, like two snow clad peaks which are found in the darkness of the sky. Second, Hastiva Jambudana Baddha Shringaha, like an elephant with two white tusks. Moon appears to me. What is this? Only when if it was lunar eclipse, Hanuman could have mentioned this. So Hanuman mentions of lunar eclipse that night, saying it is like the horns of an elephant, horns of a bull, like the two snow-clad peaks, because only during that time of the lunar eclipse you see this. That is why Hanuman expects Sita after the 30th sarga. Maybe Sita will come and bathe now. Why? After Grahanam, you have to bathe. So, in a Kavyam, you can also give an astronomical event. So, Valmiki is the inspiration for Kalidasa. Now, we have to go to our own problem. When Kalidasa received a lot of patronage from kings, the other Vaidikas who used to recite Vedas, they felt bad. Ye kya hai, sir? Sabhi fund usko hi jata hai. What should we do? Immediately, some said you have to compose poetry. See, poetry and poetic ability should be innate. You cannot go for a 10-day course and write. But these people got together. They are all Veda Panditas, Rigveda Panditas. They all got together. What verse did they come up with? They are writing a verse to get some funds from the king. Bhojanam Dehi Rajendra. This is a poem. Give us food. Now they are Vedic Pandits. They got the Swaram also right. Bhojanam Dehi Rajendra. It comes in the Rigveda format. The next set of Pandits said, we will complete Ghrita Samanvitam Ghrita with ghee and dal. What poem is it? Chapadu Kudu. Will you write that poem? They say, Bhojanam Dehi Rajendra. One line. Second set, Ghrita Samanvitam. Let it be mixed with dal and ghee. One Veda Pandita said, he will not give 1 rupee. The king will not give 1 rupee listening to this. They were discussing how to get money. They composed this one line. The second line is needed to complete that poem. Suddenly, they heard a voice from the back of a pillar. It said, Mahisham cha Sharas Chandra Chandrika Davalam Dhadi. Also, along with it, see, you cannot stop just with rice. Yes, dal is protein, but beyond that, what should we do? Bhojanam Dehi Rajendra Ghrita Supa Samanvitam. They have to complete their food. How can you not complete the food without curd rice? So you need curd. Mahisham cha, give me buffalo milks. Dadhi, curd. Chandrika, Sharas Chandra, Chandrika Dhavalam, like the rays of the autumnal moon. They heard a voice from the behind the pillar. They said, nice line, and they wrote it. They went before Bhojaraja. They said, sir, we have written a poem. Bhojaraja said, Pado. Bhojanam Dehi Rajendra. King put both his hands. Is this poem? Bhojanam Dehi Rajendra Ghrita Supa Samanvitam with ghee and dal. He said, what poem is this? Maharani, ye kya kar rahe hain ye log? The Pandit said, sir, one more line is there. Mahisham cha Sharas Chandra Chandrika Dhavalam Dadhi. Give us that curd which is like the white rays of the autumnal moon from buffalo's milk. King said, Kalidasa. The voice that came from behind the pillar was of Kalidasa. So, Kavyam is not everybody's game. You need a Kalidasa to reach that. First skill is Kavyam. What is the second thing, sir? Is it interesting? Very good. The second one is called Prahelika. Prahelika means riddle. What is the commentary in Bhagavatam? Vyakti kritta kamapyartham swaruparthasya gopanat Yatra Bhakhyantaravarthau Kathyete Sa Prahelika. You should not understand the verse in the first listening. That is Prahelika. Riddle. That is a riddle. Now, let us go to a few riddles. In Sanskritam, I'm going to tell you a riddle. Every language will have a riddle. Na tasyadihi. At the beginning, there is na. Na tasya adihi. At the beginning, there is na. Na tasyantaha. Na is there at the end. Na is there at the start. Na is there at the end. You know, in 1970s, roughly, in I think Kumudam or Kungumam or Kumudam, I don't remember, a Tamil magazine, there was a gossip about a actor female. What was that? Garbham தரித்திருக்கிறாள். That was a news. ஹே என்று ஆரம்பித்து லினியில் முடியும். மால் என்று நடுவில் ஓடும். It begins with hey, ends with lini, mal will come in the middle. It should not be as simple as this. Now, na tasyadihi, na comes at the start. Na tasyantaha, na comes in the end. Yaha tasya tishtati, ya sits in the middle. Tavapyasti, it is there with you. Mamapyasti, it is there with me. Yadi janasi tadvada, if you know, tell me that. What is it? Na, ya, na. Na at the start, na at the end, ya in the middle. It is there with you. It is there in me. So tell me, it is Nayana. This is the first riddle. Hey, answer. We are all at a different level. We are planning to mediate wars. We are at that stage. You are telling Nayana and all. Okay, the next one. Have you heard of Garuda? Ah. He is called Pakshi Rajaha, the king among birds. Where does he sit? Branch of a tree. Vrikshagravasi. He sits on the tree. Nacha Pakshi Rajaha. He is not Garuda. Trinam Chashaya. He sleeps on the grass. Oh, he must be a great saint. Nacharaja Yogi. He is not a yogi. Suvarnakayo. Wow, he's fully gold hued. Pune, there is one MLA. 57 kgs he wears. Suvarnakayo, head to toe, he's gold. Nacha he madhatuhu, but he's not Kandala. Kandala is there. Huh? He is not gold. So he sits on the branch, but not bird. He sleeps on the grass, but not a yogi. He is gold hued, but not gold. Pumsascha, he's male, masculine. Namna, but he's not a king's son. Nacha Rajaputraha. Who is he? Very good. Mango. Vrikshagravasi. He sits at the end of the branch. When he falls, he sleeps on the grass. He is gold hued. He's Ambraha, so Pullinga, but not the son of a king. He's the king of fruits. Correct? So, this is interesting. Next. Again. Vrikshagravasi nacha pakshi rajaha. He sits on the branch, but he is not the bird. Trinetradhari. He has got 3 eyes. Nacha shulapanihi. What is it? Ah, I'll finish the rest. Tvagvastradhari. Outside he wears only Valkalam. Right? Nacha siddha yogi. Jalam cha bibrat. He has water inside him. Na ghato, na meghaha. He is neither the cloud nor the pot. So he is the coconut. Correct? So Amraha, coconut. Now you offer the coconut to Bhagavan. Who is the one who is worshipped here? Amraha. So in Kanchipuram, Shiva is called Ekamranatha. So you offer coconut to Shiva, Amra, mango. Narikela, coconut. You're offering coconut to Shiva, who's Ekamranatha. Now there is another riddle. Is it interesting or boring? You have to sit. No other. Just like that, I'll keep asking this question. Don't get carried away. Viraja. Viraj. Have you heard many North Indians will have? Viraja means Garuda. Bihaganam Raja Viraja. the king of birds. So the Prahelika is Viraja Rajaputra Rehe Yannama Chaturaksharam Purvardham Tava Vairinam Parardham Tava Sangare. This is the shloka. I'll tell you what the shloka is. Viraja Rajaputra Rehe. Who is Viraja? Garuda. I told you just now, you should remember. That is also one skill. It comes in the 17th skill, memory. Viraja. I'll tell you what all we should have. Some Vallaren or Kira irukku. Brahmi tablets. We'll see that. Viraja Garuda. Viraja Raja. The one who is the Lord of the Lord of birds. Narayana. Putra. Who's Narayana's Putra? Very good. Kamadeva. Cupid has come from Bhagavan. Who is the enemy to Kamadeva? Shiva. Viraja Raja Putrarehe, the one who is the enemy to the son of the Lord of birds. You have got? Now you have got, whose name you have got? Shiva. Yennama Chaturaksharam. Now we have to discuss a name of Shiva which has 4 letters. Yennama Chaturaksharam. So in, Damsharads we play, right? Cut into 2. First part, second part. Now you have to divide these 4 words. It is raining. You can't go out. Sit. Now I'll give you more Prahelikas. Purvardham Tava Vairinam. First half of Shiva's name. It's a 4-letter word. First 2 letters means Tava Vairinam. It is our enemy. What is our enemy? You, sir. What is our enemy? Mrityu. Death, right? We want to beat death. That is why we do this skin clinic, anti-wrinkle cream, dye, right? Then we do all treatments to look young. We should always be young. We should sit on a swing, Sindura Puve, we should keep singing. Right? We are all mad and we go head to toe, we will do our test, skull test, brain test, pancreas test. Even if one reading goes wrong, this person, body, we will have some complication. We are not perfectionists. But we want to beat death. So death is our enemy. So this Shiva's name has Mrityu at the start. Parardham Tava Sangare. The second half is what that we need in wars. What do we need in wars? Jaya. So Mrityunjaya is the answer. Look at the way people played riddles. This is Prahelika. Now, if you look at this, this is a beautiful sculpture of Shiva dancing on Mrityu. Now, we have to connect all of this. Kavyam and Prahelika, we have seen. This is a beautiful piece that I took a photo of in our recent Egypt yatra. Many people asked, ಯಾಕೆ ಸರ್ ಇವರು ಈಜಿಪ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಯಾತ್ರಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮೇಲ್ಕೋಟೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ರೇನೆ ಯಾತ್ರಾ, ಈಜಿಪ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗಿದ್ರೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಯಾತ್ರಾ, US ಹೋಗಿದ್ರೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಯಾತ್ರಾ, ನಾನು ಮಗನ್ನ ನೋಡಕ್ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ US ಗೆ, ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಟ್ರಂಪ್ನ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಅಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್. ಯಾಕೆ ಯಾತ್ರಾ? I'll tell you why. This is a jewelry piece which is roughly about 4,000 years old. They have placed it in their museum called GEM, Grand Egyptian Museum. Now, it's a beautiful piece. If you're all, Modi ji has said, don't buy gold. You can watch gold. That's all. You can watch. Now, there is a story. In the Egyptian civilization, there was a king. Only if you pay attention, you'll know. This is not the general Ramayana discourse. Even if you leave in the gap after that break, Maricha will still be there. But here we are not going by that order. So in the Egyptian civilization, there is a god called Horus. Horus is the god of sky, Ambara, sky, Akasha. Now this Horus had 2 eyes. This is where Egyptian civilization gets interesting. The right eye was like the sun. The left eye is that of the moon for Horus. Chandra Surya Ucha Netre Kadir Madiyam Pol Mugattan. Correct? Now we are discussing Horus. Now this Horus had a war with another Egyptian lord called Set. Horus and Set had a war. Now this Set took Horus's eye. He took away one eye. Shukracharya lost his eye, you remember? Similarly, he lost his eye. Now, after a lot of discussion, Horus got his eye back. This eye that he got, he was so generous, he wanted to give it away to his deceased father called Osiris. This is Egyptian story. So, Horus's eye was taken by Set. Then, after that, he got the eye and he gave it to Osiris. So, he gave it. Correct? This act was treated very important by all Egyptian kings. That is why, do you see that eye in that jewel at the top? Can you see it? See, I know there is a certain limitation to how much people at the back can see or not see. We will try to improve on that, but you can see that eye. Now connect. In that Prahelika, I said Trinetradhari is coconut, because when you take the coir from the coconut, you can see three eyes. Have you seen that? So, coconut which has three eyes is offered to Ekambranatha, where Amra was the answer for the first. Third, Mrityunjaya is the answer to the third. The eye is given now. Now, who is Shiva? There is a kshetra in Tamil Nadu called Vaidishwaran Kovil. He is Vaidyanatha. He is himself the physician. Correct? Now, what will the physician give you when you go to his clinic? Prescription. What will be written at the top? RX. This eye became RX. That eye that you see in the Egyptian civilization is what became RX. What did Horus do after getting the eye? He told Osiris, take it. So RX means take it. So this eye has that connection. So Samskrita civilization, how much of a connection it has with the Egyptian is what this shows. Sir, ತುಂಬಾ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. You're able to remember the connection. You have to take this. You can audio record my lecture. No copyright. You can spread it to different people. Now, going to the next part. Before I finish, I'll just finish one small bit is left in that. This Horus, I told you, he is the god of sky, space. There is one god called Ra, sun, right? I spoke about the eye earlier. Now I'm telling about Ra, who's the sun. You know what Upanishad says? Yesho antaraditya hiranmaya purusho drishyate. Within our eye, Narayana as sun is visible. So what a connection we have had. So the second art, first art is kavyam, poetry. Second is prahelika, to confuse people with riddles. That is why in Mahabharata, for every 1000th shloka, Vyasa will give a riddle to Ganesha. Ganesha will think. By that time, Ganesha processes that riddle. Vyasa will be ready with the next set of 999 shlokas. That was the intellectual ability. This is Prahelika. Now we are going to go to the third art, Pratimala. Who is this Mala? We know Vaijayanti Mala, sir. Pratishlokam kramadyatra sandhayaksharamannimam pathetam shlokamanyonyam pratimaleti sochyate. This Pratimala finds reference in Kama Sutra. I will read out this verse from Kama Sutra. Pratimaleti yasya antyakshareti pratitaha. You know, we all play one game. What is that? Antakshari. That is Pratimala. So it has been there in Bharata Desha for the last 2000 plus years. That is called Pratimala. I say a verse, the last letter is picked up and you sing. But in our general Antakshari, we play ma ini. So that word, letter will come and we take. But in Antakshari, in the process Paddhati, you don't have to essentially take that letter. You can take even one or two letters. So this art of Pratimala to string verses Anta Adi in Tamil is called Andadi. Tamil tradition picked this very fast. I will read out a few Andadis. See all these people who are meeting in front of you. I'll tell you who they are. Poigai Alvar, Boodattalvar, Peyalvar, Tirumalizai Piran. They are all the Alvars meeting together. Each of them composed one Andadi. I am going to read it out in Tamil. Some of you may not understand Tamil. Understandable. You will understand only Kannada. But see, I have a problem. Now, I was born and raised in Karnataka. I love Kannada. My mother tongue is Tamil. I love Tamil. I want to learn many languages. I wish my audience also appreciate that. I'll tell you why. Now, after this video is posted, somebody will say, ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಬೆಳೆದಿದ್ದು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ ತಮಿಳ್ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರಂತೆ. The moment we feel language jingoism, you can never get bhakti. Because all this erasing of names on metro stations, all this is political activity. In bhakti, no language. Learn a language. So if I'm reading Andadi, why you're reading Andadi? I don't have the ability to compose one. I can only read out. It is there. This is the first Andadi called Mudal Tiruvandadi by Poigayalvar. So he has composed 100 verses. What is Andadi? First verse, last letter becomes the first letter for the second verse. How do we know how many verses he has written? Very good. The 100th verse's last letter will be the first letter of the first verse. So it is Pratimala. It will be a garland. So I will read it out. Tan tulai malai ser mayavanai manattu vai, says Alvar. 100th verse. First verse. Vayyantagaliya. Second Alvar. Irandam Tiruvandadi. கன்றினால் வீழ்த்தவனே எந்தன் அளவன்றால் யானுடைய அன்பு. First verse, அன்பே தகலியா. Third Alvar, Peyalvar. Don't be worried about their names. Boodattalvar, Peyalvar, who are they? Very good people. Van தாமரை நெடுங்கண் தேனமரும் பூமேல் திரு. What is the last word? Tiru. First verse, திருக்கண்டேன். Look at that. So this is Pratimala. Now, I will read out a great work in Tamil. Kannada will also come. Don't worry. Later. There is a work called Kanninun Siruthambu by Madhura Kaviyalvar on his Acharya called Nammalvar. He says, Kanninun Siruthambinal Kattunna Panniya Perumayan Yennappani Nannitten Kurugur Nambi Endrakal Annikkum Amudurum Yen Navuke. Navu means tongue. Second verse, Navinal Navitru. It ends with Navu, starts with Navu. That is Andadi. Now, this is about Andadi. Simple. Third art is Pratimala, which means Antakshari that we have composed. Easy. Now we are going to go to the fourth one. It's a very interesting one. I love it. Durvachaka Yogaha. Durvachaka Yogaha. First one was Kavyam means. Second one was Prahelika, which is riddles. Third one was Pratimala, stringing garlands through verses, which means like Antyakshari. It's Antyakshari. In Hindi, they say it as Antakshari. In Sanskritam, it is Antyakshari. Antya Shabdam. Okay. Now, fourth is Durvachaka Yogaha. Yahinsa bhaya agta ide. Durvachaka Yogaha means it is not easy to pronounce. Tongue twisters. This is where we all excelled. I will read out what Magha tells in Shishupala Vadha. Shishupala Vadam. Upama Kalidasasya Bharaver Arthagauravam Dandinaha Padalalityam Maghe Santi Trayogunaha. Magha gave Shishupala Vadam. Now elephant is coming in the war to fight. What will we say? The elephants came and they fought. This is how we'll say. Sagarika, that's how she'll say. Mr. Prime Minister, the elephants came and they fought. This is how they'll say. Let's see what Magha says. Elephants came and fought. Bhuri bir bhari bhir bhirai bhu bharai rabhire bhire bheri rebi birabhrabhair bhiru bhirabe bheri bhaha. Elephants came and fought. That's all. This is the message. You want me to read it again? Give me extra sambhavana. Bhuri bhir bhari bhir bhirair bhu bharair abhire bhire bheri re bhibirabhra bhair bhiru bhire be bhairi bhaha. Elephants came and fought. Now, there is another thing about tonsuring of head. Shiro munditam tundam munditam chittam na munditam kimartam munditam yasya punaschittam munditam sadhu sushtu shirastasya munditam. Now, Sanskritadal matra hingidiya, sir. I will take you to Potana Bhagavatam. In Potana's Andhra Bhagavatam, the elephant which is there, to take a flower, to Bhagavan has been caught in the jaws of a very violent crocodile. It is a National Geographic scene. Nat science like that one scene. Now what Potana says? Kari diguchu makari sarasiki kari darikini makari diguchu kare kari berayan gariki makari kari bharamanuchu natala kutala bhatula rudupadan. This is what he says. So this is Telugu. Now let us go to Tamil. Tirukkural says, Tupparku tuppaya tuppaki tupparku tuppaya tu malai. Yeah, your word tuppaki means gun, no sir. Tuppaki means you have to whistle, no sir. Right? Tamil Nadu, everybody is whistling now. Oh. Tupparku tuppaya. What is this tupparku, sir? Now this is another important. Thiruvalluvar says 2000 years back. That when you sit on your dining table, what will you have? Sambar rice, rasam rice, dal, tamarind, all these are natural products. Where do they come from? Trees and plants. How do they receive their food? From the earth, minerals, air, right? They take in carbon dioxide. Then they will have chlorophyll. Sir, yen sir, second standard Allah ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಲ್ವಾ? Fine. They need water. Where will they get water from? Nal se jal, where will they get? Rain. So that which gives rain are the clouds. So water comes from the clouds and that facilitates in your agriculture. Tuppark, tuppaya, tuppaki. So water is giving you this dal and sambar and the vegetables, correct? Now when you have this food, suppose you feel it's very spicy, what will you have? So this water is just not facilitating the products for you. It is also being consumed. So tupparku tuppaya tu malai. So this is Tamil. Now there is one great work by the Nayanmars in Tamil. He sings about Shiva 1500 years back. Yamama ni yamama yari kama kanaga kana kama kaliya mamaya ni mamaya. What is this mama, sir? We can hear only mama. Now, if you split the words, it is yam, ama, ni am, mayari, kama, kan, naga, kana, kama, kaliya, maya, ni, mamaya. This is how you have to split. But how is he written? Yamama, ni, yamama, yari, kama, kanaga, kana, kama, kaliya, mamaya, ni, mamaya. Now, there is a work by Arunagirinatha who says, தொந்திசரிய மயிரே வெளிர நிறை தந்தமசைய முதுகே வளைய இதழ் தொங்க உருகை தடிமேல் ஒரு மகளிர் நகையாடி. This is Tiruppugal. So Sanskritam, Telugu, Kannada, they all came up with this work called Durvachaka Prayogaha, which means tongue twisters. After saying this, Betty bought some butter. The butter which Betty bought was bitter. So she put some better butter into the bitter butter to make the bitter butter better. Seems so simple, right? She sells seashells on the seashore. How much would I would chuck if I would chuck would? So simple. Yamamani kaliya. Get this. This is fourth. What is it? Tongue twisters. Kavyam, Prahelika, Pratimala, Durvachaka Yogaha. Durvachaka Yogaha is tongue twisters. Now we are going to go to the fifth one. It's easiest. Andal gives one example. 1500 years back, she has to wake her friend up from her slumber. She's been like a bear sleeping all long. She goes at about 4 a.m. in the morning. She sees the house is extremely rich and prosperous with all the precious stones which have been studded on its outer walls, looking as if the house has been lit. Andal was very good at singing. I'm not. தூமணி மாடத்து சுற்றும் விளக்கேறிய. Outside your house are beautiful stones that are bereft of blemishes. The coming Saturday, I will be talking about gemology. There I will tell you in detail. So these precious stones are blemishless. Toomani, Tuyamani, Madattu Sutrum. Like the Kerala temples that are lit with lamps is your house. Sutrum Velakeriya. Now Andal goes, She says, "Oh, this lady whom I've come to wake up, I can smell parimal, agarbatti." Right? What does she say? Doobam kamal. I can smell. Doobam kamal. I can smell. What does that imply? Andal says, I have been wanting to see Krishna. Only a lady who is happy will be able to smell agarbatti. That means you don't feel the separation from Krishna. Doobam kamal. தூயிலணை மேல் கண் வளரும். Oh, you're sleeping so well. The girl doesn't reply. Now Andal senses, there is no use talking to this girl. I will talk to her mother. Maman magale, why don't you come and open the door for me? The girl doesn't reply. Manikadavam taltiravai, why don't you open the door and the latch for me, Hamir Kalyani? You get the ragam, because Geetam will come as one of the arts. Mamir, oh, this girl's mother. Mamir, your girl is not, she's got AirPods. Mamir, oh, this girl's mother. Avalai எழுப்பீரோ. Why don't you wake her up? Now that mother, should I wake her up? Yes! Didn't you talk to my daughter directly? No. Un magaldan, your daughter. Oomayo. Maybe she doesn't know how to talk. Sevido. Maybe she's deaf. So, how do you communicate? That is the fifth art called Akshara Mushtika Kathanam. How do you use eyes and hands to communicate? We do dumb charades and all that, right? How do we communicate? Now, how important is the mouth? Sir, can you keep quiet for some time? No. I am born to speak. How will you ask me to keep quiet? But who else kept quiet? Rukmini kept quiet. Have you heard of that? Kelidira? You should either say yes, no. If you say yes, I'll ask you where. சும்மா விட மாட்டேன். Now, when Rukmini wrote a letter, you remember? She was, engagement happened with Shishupala. Photo mein engagement with Shishupala, marriage with Krishna. Rukmini's album itself was very thrilling album. OTT series, first 2 episodes Shishupala, third say Krishna. So, she wrote one letter and sent it through one Brahmana. She made a vow that she will not talk to anyone. Why? Only when you open your mouth, media will ask some question. Ma'am, how do you feel about Shishupal? How did you meet? Can you just guys tell me? Seema auntie will ask. So, how did you meet? So she said, I'll keep quiet for some time. How do we know she kept quiet? Because before, when Krishna came in the chariot, she told her Sairandrika Stris, I'm closing my Mauna Vratam. From now on, I will talk. So, Munivratham athatyaktva. She abandoned her Mauna Vratam and she spoke. So, keeping quiet at times is also good. Second, are ears important? Thiruvalluvar says, which is the biggest wealth in your life? Ears. Selvathul selvam sevichelvam. That is why you are listening. I am speaking. For us, generally, they will keep one monitor here. It is called monitor feedback. We have to listen to how we speak. It may be okay, but still, we have to listen. We should first listen to what we are saying. We should listen to what others are saying. So, ears are important. Mouth is important. How do we communicate? So, somebody is there at an audio visual room. You have to communicate. How will you do? That is where Natya Shastra helps. Patakaha, Tripatakaha, Ardhapatakaha, Kartari Mukhaha. You do all this, right? Chandraha. Then you show this for the other Chandra. Then you show the closed bud like this. Alapadmakaha, you'll have to immediately show. That is where Natyam helps. Without this, how will you communicate? Then you have to bring one real lotus. You have to go to a shop. There is no time. That is where your hands and eyes. So we should all learn dance. This is dumb charades. This is the fifth thought.
परम भागवत मौनिवर शशि विभाकर सनक सनंदन देश सुर किं पुरुष कनक कशिपु सुत नारद तुम्बुरु पवन सूनु बाल चंद्रधर शुक सरोज भव भूसुर वरुलु परम पावनुलु घनुलु शाश्वतुलु कमल भव सुखमु सदानुभवुलु गकयंदरो महानुभावुलु. As I'm speaking these divine lines of Sri Tyagaraja Swami, I've received the very divine Onavil of Thiruvananthapuram. This is going to be a grand, a mega Natya production titled Endaro Mahanubhavalu, a festoon of the devout. We have chosen the inspiring events from the lives of 14 Acharyas, Mahans, who have trod Bharata Bhumi. ದೊಡ್ಡಾಚಾರ್ಯ, ಆದಿಶಂಕರಾಚಾರ್ಯ, ವೇದಾಂತ ದೇಶಿಕ, ಮುತ್ತುಸ್ವಾಮಿ ದೀಕ್ಷಿತ, ಪೋತನ, ಜಯದೇವ, ಆಂಡಾಳ್, ಮೀರಾಬಾಯಿ, ಕಂಬನ್, ತಿರುಮಳಿಸೈ ಪಿರಾನ್, ಭದ್ರಾಚಲ ರಾಮದಾಸು, ಗೋಸ್ವಾಮಿ, ತುಳಸಿದಾಸ, ಪುರಂದರದಾಸ and Tukaram. We have strung it together into a beautiful dance production that is primarily Bharatanatyam based with movements of Odissi, Ghumar and Mohiniyattam, which is going to be multilingual as well with lines chosen from Sanskritam, Marathi, Braj Bhasha, Rajasthani, Telugu, Kannada, Tamil, so many languages put together. I've had the opportunity to work with dancers, Natya gurus of great repertoire in the last 15 years. This is an opportunity for me to have curated the production, to have done the storyboard and narrate the production in English. The choreography is by the very famous revered Kalaimamani Srimati Anita Guha. The music is by the great grandson of Subramanya Bharati, a Sangeet Natak Academy awardee, Dr. Rajkumar Bharati, and the soundscape design is by Sri Sai Shravanam, one of the contributing engineers to the award-winning Life of Pi movie. We have all come together to present this grand production Endaro Mahanubhavalu in your city. On the 26th and on the 27th of September at the Prestige Center of Performing Arts in Bengaluru, we are presenting this production. On the 3rd and the 4th of October, we are doing it at the Naradagana Sabha in Chennai. On the 1st of November, we are doing it at the Fine Arts Society Chembur in Mumbai. And on the 29th of November at Kamani Auditorium in Delhi. Tickets are flying off the shelves. Please be present, buy your tickets and be with your family to watch this, I would say, once in a lifetime event. We are extremely thankful to the title sponsor, to the event sponsor, to the associate sponsors, and to those hands who have supported us. To the all of you, thank you. To the all of you, Vandanamulu, please be present. Namaskar.